This is going to be my very first video. I'm usually on the TikTok platform, but I decided to change it up. I feel like uh, I I think I kind of lost my idea of what I want to do on TikTok, which is just log everything. So I'm able to go back to it and see things. But to me, I feel like I talk a lot, and I feel like there's so much more that I want to speak, and I can't just do it in 3 minutes. So I think YouTube is a better platform for me to really talk about everything, discuss everything, go over the things, and kind of log and uh, document everything that's been going on. And so I think my biggest things that I'm trying to accomplish at the moment is getting fit, and then also getting my breast augmentation. Those are the two main things. And also I have the natural hair journey that I'm going on, which I actually did a big chop, I think 3 weeks ago. So this is the growth from that. I'll have to do a separate video for that, just so I can just completely talk about and be, I guess, immersed in that one topic. But right now I want to talk about my fitness journey in general, and just kind of tell you where I'm at right now and where I started. So my heaviest, I think, is about 295, and I had gradually, but kind of not gradually, gained weight. I was overweight as a kid, and I changed myself when I turned in. My first year of high school, I realized that I was unhealthy, so I needed a change. So I remember back in December, October, that I decided that I needed to make a change. I was weighing in at 248 pounds, which was my heaviest at that point, and I lost the weight. I exercised every day. I exercised like crazy, but at the time, I didn't know about HIIT training, so I was into really cardio. I do the stationary bike for about an hour or two, and I just really go hard on the exercising. I didn't really think about my diet too much, but I did change some things. Like I stopped drinking soda, I stopped eating chips and all that stuff. I changed little things, and I saw a big difference. And I wind up later on, as I became more knowledgeable about what's unhealthy and what's not, I eventually went down to 190 and averaged 190 for, I think that was after 2 or 3 years, or maybe 1 year. And I averaged that for a couple of years, and I just kind of stayed at that weight. And I never knew why, but I didn't look super, I still was on the diet. I was still trying to lose weight, but it just wasn't, the scale wasn't moving for years. So at some point I got really fit during my journey after being, once I turned an adult, or about 17 years old, 15 years old, I was getting really, really fit. I actually got introduced to HIIT training when I was 17 or 15, 16, and I just been doing HIIT training ever since, which is a really valuable thing. If you want to lose fat, you want to do HIIT training, because that's going to help you decrease in inches. It's going to hit all the right places, and it's going to help lose weight as fast, as it's going to accelerate the weight loss journey. Also, eating a clean diet is really important if you want to lose weight, and if you want to be lean and healthy. I know it's really hard to give up junk food, but at the end of the day, even the slip ups, you'll have, maybe you can have it once every month or so, but I wouldn't try to keep it as a regular in my diet, because honestly, I'd rather be fit and healthy than to be unhealthy and just gorge or eat whatever I want to. So that's just me. Again, with my weight loss journey, I stayed in 180, I think 180 being my smallest for a while. And I was after a while, because I had transitioned into a male, I had to think about bodybuilding rather than losing weight. And even my doctor was like, don't worry about losing weight, just build the muscle. And I started building muscle slowly but surely, and I was seeing a lot of definition. When you are overweight for such a long time, you don't see the progress in you, and like you'll see some of it and you'll be like, oh shoot, I do notice I have a little definition here, or I do notice that I'm a little flatter here. But like, even so, like I would have issues where I would not, like, literally I looked at the pictures of the way I looked before, and pictures that make you look a little more bloated than what you are anyways. But when I looked at myself, even just from the pictures, I was like, I was a really tiny guy. I was a really tiny person. Like, I was not as heavy as I thought it was. I didn't look as big as I thought it was. I was even seeing the definition of the abs coming through. So I was training hard. I was training probably an hour and 30 minutes a day, weight training, and then about 30 minutes of HIIT training. Depending on the day, I might do a 45 HIIT training. And I paired that together with some clean eating, and I ate very small portions. Even so, I was probably supposed to eat a lot more than what I did because I was a guy, but I still had the female mindset. So I was like, I needed to eat a little bit, and I was so used to eating less that I kind of sticked with it, and I was gaining muscle. I was leaning out, and I didn't even realize it. And yeah, doing really good. Fast forward to 2019, 2018, I kind of fell off of my weight loss or my fitness journey, and I stopped, exercising so much. But I still was really active, but just not like going hardcore, pumping the weights and everything. 2019 in particular, because that was after I got my top surgery. Or being in San Jose, when I was in San Jose, I really didn't lose. I lost a lot of weight because I was with my grandma and everyone, and they eat really small portions, so they expected me to eat small portions as well, which is not a bad thing, but I still need to get as much protein as I needed in that time. So it would have been nice if they would kind of back off about it, but it's okay. I lost a lot of weight. I think, although I didn't really check the scale, I think I was maybe 175, maybe. I'm not sure. So something like that. And I'm 5'7", so I guess being a guy and being that weight was not that bad, and it didn't look that bad on me. It looked a little fluffy, but not like super big like I did before or at the start of my journey. So after the surgery, I lost extreme amount of weight because I couldn't really eat. I didn't really eat that much, and I was not because of the surgery itself, but I was just like so used to not eating so much because I was over at my grandma's house, so they, the portion sizes for them, so I got used to eating very small portions. And afterward, I started finding spirituality, and I learned from like Taoism and things like that only supposed to eat to satiation and not supposed to overeat. So I was like, I need to eat smaller portions and, go with that. And I'd eat like really like small bowls, like the little Asian rice bowls type of food amount, and little tiny plates. Like it was crazy tiny, like smaller than a baby's plate. And I wouldn't even finish those meals because I'd be so full and I'd be done. At that time, I was so fit, I could do a crunches off of a chair and I wouldn't fall, which was crazy. I was super fit and really small and skinny. And then also on top of that, having my breasts removed, I now been even smaller than what even weighed smaller than what I did. Although I did not check the scale, which I probably should have, but I didn't. Fast forward to after 2019, moving into 2020, I weighed at 143 pounds. And I was like a stick at the time, but it was not coming from a good place because I had a psychotic break. And so I had the issue of walking around, speaking out loud because I kept hearing voices kept coming through me and everything. So I'd be walking around focused on that instead of focusing on just being healthy and enjoying my life. So a lot of that time got wasted by doing that. But I did get to enjoy a little bit of my skinny life, which was pretty cool. I think it lasted about a year that I was skinny until I started slowly gaining weight after I stopped starving myself, because at some point I did start starving myself. I don't know how much I weighed at that point, but I started slowly gaining weight, and then after I got kicked out of my parents' house again, I started gaining more weight because I was stress eating and eating to just eat. And after that, I got with my boyfriend, and that even accelerated more, or my ex, which was accelerated more weight gain. I was going through a very manic, very bad spot in life, so I was doing not good. And then I think I reached 200 pounds, over 200 pounds at that point. I was like 200 pounds like when I was in March of last year. So fast forward to this year, last year in December, I was like 250 to 60, and it just kind of went up from there until this year around March or April. I weighed in 295 pounds. I could not believe how big I got. I was afraid I was going to be inching toward 300 pounds, because I think I've always feared of being overweight, like any bigger than what I was. So getting to where I was is so sad and so disappointing to myself, because I never thought I would let that happen. But again, I had a lot of mental issues going on at the time, so I really couldn't focus on taking care of my body, taking care of my health. It was just I was in a whole nother world, and I really couldn't deal with that. So being homeless, I ate a lot of like breads and chips and whatever that you don't cook, because I couldn't cook anything. There was no place to cook. And when I was at like the shelter, there's a little thing I can cook, but even then it wasn't like things that I needed, like, you know, healthy proteins like chicken, healthy vegetables. I couldn't keep those because they would spoil, and they wouldn't really even allow it in the shelter. So it really was an issue with me. Now, skipping from that point, because at some point I got back to my parents' house and they helped me, and I was able to eat healthy foods, but I was still making poor choices because I was stressed out and everything, sad and depressed. Now, I fast forward to June. Sometime in like May and June, I was a vegan and doing a raw vegan diet, because I was like, this will accelerate my weight loss because I would be eating only this much. And I feel like I kind of thought about it, my weight loss, as of last few months, but I didn't really think about it until like June. And June was like, I need to lose weight, and my doctor had referred me to a bariatric surgeon, which that's a long process, which is about a 7-month process if you want to get it covered by insurance, depending on where you live. I'm pretty sure it's a process for everybody though. And so yeah, it's going to be 7 months, and I have to do like 6-month diet doc, and then after that is like the last 2 nutrition class and whatever, and after that it's like you finally get scheduled for surgery. So I'm not really holding my breath for that one. So I was like, I'm not gonna wait 7 months to decide to be healthy, 7 months to decide to lose weight. I gotta do it now. So after my I'll actually talk about this in the next video because someone's calling.